lakes. So I'm getting ready to fish a series of night tournaments on a local lake that is known as Lake Perris. And so let's start off how I use the Navionics app. So I've got my iPad here. Of course, you want to go into the App Store, search for Navionics, which we have right here in the right top corner. When you search for Navionics, you can see all of the different options you're going to get in terms of what's available at the Navionics store. I've already downloaded the US maps, and so I'm going to go into my Navionics app that I've already downloaded, the Boating HD app. This is an amazing app that'll help you learn more about what's underneath the water, your local lake, or if you're out in the bay, any type of place that you may be fishing. And so I've already brought it up on Lake Perris, which is where I'm going to be spending my summer fishing a lot of tournaments offshore. And I've been successful here, but I don't fish this lake a lot. And so this is how I use Navionics. I'm going to be looking at the contours to try to find spots. Of course, you don't want to be trying to find these spots at night when it's dark. And so I'm going to do a lot of my homework using my Navionics iPad app. And so if I was to scroll out, it'll show you, I'm coming from California, so it'll show you Lake Perris and other lakes and things that are on the iPad app. Again, this is a great feature to be able to look and see what's underneath the water. And so I'm going to scroll back in and take you to Lake Perris, which is where I'm going to be fishing a lot of night tournaments. And I've already located a spot that looks pretty promising to me, and you can see right there is Lake Perris. So what I'm going to be talking about today is how to do a screenshot and how I would use this information to help me catch fish in the upcoming night tournament season. So I can already see the contours that this is a hump in the middle of what is Lake Perris. And it's a very small lake. We call it a mud hole. And so trying to find spots is important, particularly fishing a night tournament. So I can already see from my Navionics iPad app that this is a pretty promising spot. It's a hump that's surrounded by fairly deep water, comes up to about 41 or so feet. And again, I'll take this information and apply on the water and see how high that hump peaks out at. Right now it looks like it comes up to about 41 feet. If I scroll over, I've already found a couple of things that I'm going to try to check out. Another thing I want to look at is what looks like a submerged culvert. And again, this is right on the iPad app that I downloaded from the App Store, Navionics chart. And so a submerged culvert is showing up on the chart. And this is another area. So what I'm going to do is what's called a screenshot. And I'm going to email both of these two promising areas to myself so that I can have it on my iPhone and I can start to do some research on these two areas. You can see this submerged culvert looks like it's on a point, which makes it even more desirable of a spot for me to check out prior to me starting to fish these night tournaments. And so I'm going to do a screenshot, and how you do a screenshot on your iPad is you take your on-off button, which is located right here to the left side of the iPad, and you hold the button that takes you back to your app. So on the right here, if I click this, it'll take me back to my home page. Again, I'm going to click on the Navionics Boating HD app. It takes me right back to this area, and I'm going to take a screenshot. So I'm using the on and off button on the left, and on the right, the button that takes me home. And if I hold down the button on the left and then the button to the right, you see that I just did a screenshot, and I turned it off at the same time. But let's do that again. Hold the button to the left and the home button, and you'll see the screen blink out. That tells you that you took a screenshot of that, and it'll save it in your pictures, and I'll show you that in a moment. Again, I'm going to go back to this hump that looks promising. I'm going to scroll in and take a screenshot of this because I want to email it to myself. Again, this is Lake Perris, California. I'm going to be fishing some night tournaments here. Screenshot, You see the screen blinked in and out. That tells you that you were successful. Now those shots should be in my pictures, where you would normally store your pictures if you're taking pictures with your camera phone. So go into my pictures. Lo and behold, you see the pictures. You can see I took that one a couple of times, but I could bring that picture up by touching it, and there it is. So what I can do now is email these pictures to my email address so that I can have it in my phone and start to have it with me out on the water. And so what I'm going to want to do is email the one picture there and the picture of the hump there. So I've selected both of those items, and I'm going to email those to myself. Find the correct email there. Lake Perris. Spots. And send. Basically what that does is I just sent and saved these screenshots as a picture. So now if I go into my email, which we have here momentarily, I should be getting a copy, and there it is, Lake Perris spots. Bring it up, tap to download these pictures, and there are the pictures. Now I could do a couple of things with these pictures now that I've sent them to myself that way. And I can post them in a forum. I could save them to a file. There's a number of things I can do, and we'll talk about those things later. But for right now, what I do is I'm going to store these items on my phone, and you can see on my phone I've got my GoPro app right now showing what I'm shooting here on my GoPro. But I can also go into my email on my phone, and you can see that the Lake Perris spots are also there. So I've got those spots stored in my email. I could download them there. But I could also look at those spots if I wanted to. There, I'd have to tap all of those, but that gives you an example of that culvert that's on that point. But if I wanted to, I could also use my app, my Navionics app on my iPhone to bring up Lake Perris there as well. That's just a quick video to show you how to do a screenshot. Again, it's very simple. If I do these screenshots of these spots that I want to do a little bit more research on, go into my Navionics app, see the area again, hold your on and off button to the left, hit your home screen button there, and you'll see the screen go in and out. That's a screenshot. Hit your home button, go into your pictures, and you'll see your screenshots of your Navionics charts. Number of ways you could use these if you're going to be posting things in a forum, if you're going to be studying them while you're out on the water. This is a quick video of how to do a screenshot on my iPad using my Navionics charts.